What's up, you guys? How you doing? I hope you're great. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tando. I'm reacting to a Dr. Phil show compilation of his most dramatic shows or whatever. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel for us to grow, and let's get into it.
These are the stories that had everybody talking. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 talk show scandals. If you like this video, then you'll love the original content over at our sister channel, Ms. Mojo, your source for all things pop culture, celebrity, and entertainment. For this list, we're taking a look at feuds and controversies from both daytime and late-night talk shows that either made audiences drop their morning cup of joe or their glass of wine.
Okay.
Number 10, the Dr. Phil drug scandal. In 2017, this long-running television program came under fire after former Survivor contestant Todd Herzog accused the producers of enabling his drug and alcohol addiction in order to generate views.
I didn't know this was happening right now.
In his now infamous appearance in 2013, Herzog was so drunk he could barely stand, indicating to viewers that his condition had led him to an all-time low.
I had an entire bottle, like a liter, of vodka.
However, according to Herzog, he was coerced by staff into drinking 2 bottles of vodka and given Xanax to, quote, calm his nerves before filming. The Dr. Phil show has vehemently denied these claims. However, an expose published in 2017 by the Stat and the Boston Globe exhibited multiple victims making similar claims against the production. Number 9, Rosie O'Donnell versus Elizabeth Hasselbeck. The View can sometimes feel like a daytime soap opera. Of all the scandals this talk show has endured over the years, the feud between co-hosts Rosie O'Donnell and Elizabeth Hasselbeck was perhaps the most notorious. The tension between the two reached its boiling point in 2007, when Hasselbeck referred to Iraq as, quote, America's enemy, prompting O'Donnell to argue that the Bush administration was truly at fault.
You just said our enemies in Iraq. Did Iraq attack us?
The liberal O'Donnell additionally criticized the media for their unflattering portrayal of her, claiming that they favored the conservative Hasselbeck.
Because here's how it gets spun in the media. Rosie, big, fat, lesbian, loud Rosie, attacks innocent, pure Christian Elizabeth. And I'm not doing it.
Following their heated argument, O'Donnell left the show, while Hasselbeck exited 5 years later. Number 8, Alec Baldwin's gay slur. Although Alec Baldwin is one of the most outspoken liberals in showbiz, his behavior hasn't always lived up to his professed ideals. In 2013, the Oscar-nominated actor landed in hot water when he allegedly directed a gay slur at a paparazzo. In due course, Baldwin was suspended from his late-night talk show for 2 weeks. While Baldwin initially claimed he was misquoted, he ultimately described his outburst in an apology as, quote, offensive and unacceptable. However, the damage was done, as Up Late with Alec Baldwin was canceled after only 5 episodes. It probably didn't help that Baldwin also made homophobic remarks towards reporter George Stark on Twitter. Number 7, Maury Povich's sexual harassment lawsuit. Maury Povich is no stranger to controversy, as many critics have accused his tabloid talk show of exploiting serious issues. Speaking of exploitation, a $100 million sex harassment lawsuit was filed against Povich and other members of his staff in 2006. The allegation stemmed from Bianca Nardi, a former producer of the Maury Povich show, who claimed that the host and his workers had forced her to watch pornography and attempt to seduce married men at bars while being filmed. She additionally accused executive producer Paul Fallhaber of making her wear revealing outfits, and implied that Povich was having an affair with producer Donna Ingber. Despite this scandal, Povich remains on television and is still married to Connie Chung. Number 6, Billy Bush fired from Today. Just when it seemed like the 2016 U.S. presidential election couldn't get any crazier, a 2005 hot mic recording surfaced in which Republican candidate Donald Trump shared an offensive and potentially incriminating conversation with Access Hollywood host Billy Bush.
Grab him by the
On a bus ride, Trump not only admitted that he tried and failed to seduce Nancy O'Dell, but also made some vulgar statements while discussing actress Ariane Zucker. The scandal took a drastic toll on Bush's public image, resulting in his termination from the Today Show. Meanwhile, Trump continued his campaign, and was elected president almost a month later.
You don't get to say that because I was
there.
there in the last 14 months of my life. I have been dealing with it. You dealt with it for 14 minutes and went on to be the president.
Number 5. Blackmail attempt against David Letterman. After a long, hard day, audiences would typically tune in to Late Show with David Letterman for a lighthearted laugh. The talk show took an uncomfortable turn in 2009, though, when Letterman confessed to having several sexual relationships with his female staffers. An extortionist had targeted Letterman, threatening to write a screenplay about the television host's affairs unless he coughed up $2 million.
And he seems to, in this packet, there seems to be quite a lot of terrible stuff he knows about.
Cooperating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, Letterman wrote a fake check, and his blackmailer was arrested shortly after. While Letterman was met with some negative press following this shocking announcement, he eventually moved on from the scandal and hosted Late Show for 6 more years before retiring in 2015. Number 4. Oprah Winfrey versus James Frey.
It's a radical departure, it's not a classic, and it is also not fiction.
James Frey hit the big time when his memoir, A Million Little Pieces, was selected for Oprah's book club in 2005. Chronicling Frey's history with alcohol and drug abuse, the book became a New York Times bestseller and a cultural sensation.
If I was going to write a book that was true and I was going to write a book that was honest, then I was going to have to write about myself in very, very negative ways.
Many readers felt cheated, however, when it was revealed that Frey had fabricated information in his supposed true account. This didn't reflect well on Oprah, who invited Frey onto her show to talk about the controversy. Oprah didn't let Frey off with a slap on the wrist, eventually getting him to confess that he had made up parts of the story. She also brought on publisher Nan Talese to set the record straight. Number 3. Conan O'Brien versus Jay Leno. The original war for late night can be traced back to 1992, when Jay Leno became Johnny Carson's successor over David Letterman. This influenced Letterman to move from NBC to CBS, while Conan O'Brien was hired to fill the NBC late night time slot. History essentially repeated itself almost 2 decades later, when Leno exited The Tonight Show so O'Brien could assume his hosting duties. Unfortunately, O'Brien's ratings struggled, and the decision to give Leno a primetime talk show turned out to be a huge miscalculation. Since pushing back the schedule wasn't an option, O'Brien was given a $45 million payout, while Leno returned to The Tonight Show in 2010. Number 2. Jenny Jones' guest gets murdered.
Okay, you think about you have fantasies about him?
I've had a couple, yeah.
The Jenny Jones Show aired for over a decade, but it's actually best remembered for an episode that never even aired. Entitled Same-Sex Secret Crushes, the episode centered on a guest named Scott Amador, who, on the show, revealed his crush to an acquaintance named Jonathan Schmitz. 3 days after the episode was taped, Schmitz reportedly found a suggestive note from Amador. Schmitz subsequently purchased a shotgun, shot Amador 2 times in the chest, and alerted the authorities of the crime he had just committed. Having a history of mental illness, Schmitz was convicted of second-degree murder. Meanwhile, the Jenny Jones Show faced a wrongful death lawsuit and was forced to pay Amador's family $25 million. Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
What's going on here?
How should we pay them back?
Shoot Kane and all the way over and kill everyone in China.
Kill everyone in China?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
Number 1. Matt Lauer's sexual misconduct allegations. In rapid succession, from Bill O'Reilly to Charlie Rose, media personalities were publicly accused of sexual harassment in 2017.
Okay, thank you for watching the video. I will see you on the next one. Bye.